You think you know what happened on Monday Night Raw? Think again. While you were sitting comfortably at home, WWE just pulled off one of the most disgusting displays of negligence I've ever witnessed in professional wrestling. And before you start typing your little excuses in the comments, let me make something crystal clear. What they did to Rey Mysterio wasn't just reckless, it was borderline criminal. Finn Bálor didn't just snap, he crossed a line that should never be crossed, and somehow, someway, WWE is trying to sweep this under the rug like it's just another Monday night. But I'm not going to let that happen, and neither should you. Stick around because what I'm about to reveal will make your blood boil, and if you're not absolutely furious by the end of this video, then you haven't been paying attention. Welcome to Wrestling Zone Insider. The arena lights dimmed on what should have been a celebration of athleticism and entertainment, but instead, we witnessed something far more sinister. Finn Bálor, the man who's been preaching about respect and legacy for months, finally showed his true colors, and they are as black as his demon paint. But here's what's making me absolutely lose my mind: the complete and utter silence from WWE management about what went down. Radio silence. Not a single statement. Not one word of accountability. It's like they are hoping we'll just forget that one of the greatest luchadors of all time might have had his career shortened because of their incompetence in managing talent behavior. Let me paint you the full picture of this train wreck, and I want you to pay close attention because every single detail matters. The match started innocently enough: Rey Mysterio versus Finn Bálor in what was advertised as a #1 contenders match. The crowd was electric, the energy was palpable, and for the first 10 minutes, we were getting exactly what we expected: a technical masterclass between two of the most gifted performers in the industry. Rey was hitting those signature arm drags, Bálor was countering with that vicious technical precision he's known for, and everything seemed perfectly fine. But then something shifted. You could see it in Bálor's eyes. That switch flipped, and what happened next wasn't wrestling, it was an assault. The dropkick to Rey's knee wasn't accidental. The way Bálor targeted that same knee for the next 5 minutes wasn't coincidence. This was calculated, methodical, and absolutely brutal. I've watched the footage back at least 20 times, analyzing every angle, every movement, and there's no other way to interpret this. Finn Bálor went into business for himself and decided that winning the match wasn't enough. He wanted to make a statement, and he made it on the body of a 50-year-old legend who's given everything to this business. The sling blade onto the exposed knee? Completely unnecessary. The continued stomps after Rey was clearly in distress. Absolutely uncalled for. And the worst part? The referee let it continue. The officials at ringside let it continue. Management let it continue. Here's my first question for you, and I genuinely want to know your thoughts on this. Do you think Finn Bálor's actions were a worked shoot that went too far, or was this a complete shoot that WWE is now trying to work into a storyline? Drop your answer in the comments below because this is a crucial distinction that we need to discuss as a community. Now, let's talk about Rey Mysterio's condition because WWE has been deliberately vague about this, and that should terrify every single wrestling fan watching this video. According to sources close to the situation, and I'm talking about people who were literally in the trainer's room when Rey was being evaluated, the injury is being described as a severe hyperextension of the knee with possible ligament damage. Read that again. Possible ligament damage. Do you understand what that means for a performer whose entire moveset relies on knee stability and explosive movement? This could be career-altering. This could be career-ending. And where's the outrage? Where are the consequences? Finn Bálor walked out of that arena like he just had another Tuesday night match while Rey Mysterio was being helped to the back, unable to put weight on his leg. But wait, because it gets even more infuriating. Less than 48 hours after this incident, what does WWE do? They announce Finn Bálor for a championship opportunity on the next pay-per-view. I'm sorry, what? You reward this behavior? You look at a performer who just potentially ended a legend's career and you say, yeah, that's exactly the kind of guy we want representing our brand. The message this sends is absolutely disgusting. It tells every single performer in that locker room that you can be as reckless as you want, you can injure your peers, you can disregard their safety and well-being, and as long as it creates buzz and gets people talking, you'll be rewarded for it. This isn't just bad booking, this is morally bankrupt decision-making that puts every performer at risk. And speaking of buzz, let me address the elephant in the room that I know some of you are already typing in the comments. It's all a work, you mark. This is just storytelling. To those people, I have one thing to say: grow up. I've been covering this industry for long enough to know the difference between selling an injury and actually being injured. The way Rey Mysterio's knee buckled on that final dropkick wasn't selling. The look of genuine concern on the referee's face wasn't acting. The medical staff rushing to ringside with that level of urgency wasn't part of the show. And if it was all a work, then that makes it even worse because it means WWE is deliberately trying to blur the lines between reality and fiction in a way that's exploitative and dangerous. Before we move forward, we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. Now let's shift gears to something that should have been exciting news but instead feels like a calculated distraction from the Rey Mysterio situation. Oba Femi's confirmation for the Royal Rumble. Under normal circumstances, I'd be thrilled about this. Oba Femi is an absolute monster of a performer who's been tearing through NXT like a hurricane through a trailer park. The man is intimidating, he's talented, he's got that special presence that you can't teach. His matches against Trick Williams and Joe Coffey have been nothing short of spectacular, and his North American Championship reign has been one of the most dominant we've seen in years. This should be a moment for celebration, a chance for the NXT roster to showcase their talent on the biggest stage of the year. But here's the problem: the timing is suspiciously convenient, isn't it? WWE drops the Rey Mysterio injury angle, deals with the justified backlash about Finn Bálor's recklessness, and then immediately pivots to, hey, look over here. Shiny new toy. Aren't you excited? It's textbook misdirection, and quite frankly, it's insulting to our intelligence as fans. We can be excited about Oba Femi's Royal Rumble appearance and be furious about Rey Mysterio's treatment at the same time. These things aren't mutually exclusive, and WWE needs to understand that we're not goldfish with 3-second memories. That being said, let's give credit where credit is due. Oba Femi in the Royal Rumble is a massive opportunity, not just for him but for the entire NXT brand. This is a guy who's been absolutely untouchable in developmental, and now he gets to step into the ring with main roster talent, legends, and surprise entrants. The potential for memorable moments is enormous. Imagine Oba Femi squaring off against Gunther. Picture the stare down between him and Bobby Lashley. Think about the chaos that would ensue if he enters at number 30 and starts throwing people over the top rope like they are practice dummies. From a pure wrestling perspective, this is exciting stuff, and I don't want my anger about the Rey situation to completely overshadow what could be a breakthrough moment for a deserving talent. The Royal Rumble has always been about creating stars, and Oba Femi has all the tools to be a legitimate main event player on the main roster. He's got the look, he's got the presence, he's got the in-ring ability, and most importantly, he's got that aura of invincibility that's so rare in modern wrestling. When he walks down that ramp at the Rumble, people are going to take notice. When he starts eliminating established names, the WWE Universe is going to react. And if they book him correctly, and that's a big if considering their recent track record, this could be the launching pad for something truly special. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because WWE has a nasty habit of building someone up just to tear them down 6 months later. How many times have we seen this exact scenario play out? NXT star gets called up with massive momentum, has a few impressive showings, and then gets fed to whatever main roster star needs a quick win to build credibility. It happened to Keith Lee, it happened to Karrion Kross the first time around, it's happened to countless others. The Royal Rumble appearance means nothing if there's no follow-through, and that's what concerns me about this announcement. Are they genuinely invested in Oba Femi as a long-term project, or is this just another case of popping a rating and moving on? Here's my second question for all of you watching, and this one's really important for understanding where the WWE Universe stands right now. If you had to choose between WWE properly addressing and punishing Finn Bálor's actions against Rey Mysterio or giving Oba Femi a strong Royal Rumble showing that leads to a main roster push, which would you choose? I know it's a tough question, and I know it shouldn't be either or, but I want to know what matters more to you as a fan. Let me know in the comments section. Let's dig deeper into what Finn Bálor's breakdown really represents, because this isn't just about one match or one incident. This is symptomatic of a larger problem in WWE's current product: the complete lack of accountability for in-ring behavior. We've seen this pattern emerge over the past year where performers are encouraged to push boundaries, to work stiffer, to create those "did you see that" moments that blow up on social media. And look, I understand the appeal from a business perspective. Those clips get shared, they drive engagement, they create water cooler moments that keep WWE in the conversation. But at what cost? At what point does the pursuit of viral moments become more important than performer safety? Finn Bálor used to be one of the most respected workers in the entire industry. His matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling were technical masterpieces that showcased his versatility and professionalism. His early NXT run proved that he could be a top guy who elevated everyone around him. But somewhere along the line, something changed. Whether it's frustration with his position on the card, pressure to remain relevant in an increasingly crowded roster, or genuine heel work that's gone too far, the Finn Bálor we're seeing now is a far cry from the Prince Devitt who earned worldwide acclaim through his incredible work ethic and respect for the business. The snap we witnessed on Raw felt like the culmination of months of building tension. You could see it in his promos, in his interactions with other performers, in the way he's been working matches with an edge that borders on dangerous. And here's what really gets me: WWE clearly saw this coming. They had to have noticed the signs, the escalating aggression, the increasingly reckless spots. But instead of pulling him aside and addressing it, they let it build, they let it fester, and they let it explode in a way that's now put one of their legends on the shelf. That's not just bad management, that's negligent management that prioritized short-term storytelling over long-term performer health. Rey Mysterio didn't deserve this. The man is a living legend who spent over 3 decades perfecting his craft, inspiring generations of luchadors, and consistently putting on incredible performances despite being in his 50s. He's earned the right to work with people he can trust, to step into that ring knowing that his opponent will protect him and work safely. Instead, he got Finn Bálor on what appears to have been one of the worst nights of his career, and now he's paying the price for WWE's failure to maintain a safe working environment. The injustice of this situation cannot be overstated, and if you're not angry about it, you should be. What makes this even more frustrating is the radio silence from other performers. Where are the tweets supporting Rey? Where are the backstage interviews expressing concern? Where is the locker room unity that we always hear about whenever WWE wants to pat itself on the back for its company culture? The silence is deafening, and it speaks volumes about the culture of fear that must exist backstage. Nobody wants to speak up because they know it could affect their push, their position, their future opportunities. So they stay quiet, they keep their heads down, and they hope they are not the next victim of someone else's reckless behavior or creative frustration. The Oba Femi announcement, as exciting as it should be, feels tainted by association with this whole mess. It's hard to get genuinely excited about the Royal Rumble when you know that behind the scenes, there's a broken system that values moments over people, that rewards dangerous behavior with championship opportunities, and that treats its legends like they are disposable assets rather than human beings who've given everything to build the company into what it is today. The cognitive dissonance of being a wrestling fan in 2025 is absolutely exhausting, and moments like this make me question why I continue to invest so much emotional energy into a product that clearly doesn't respect its performers the way it should. But let's talk about what should happen moving forward, because complaining without offering solutions is pointless. First and foremost, WWE needs to release an official statement about Rey Mysterio's condition and provide a realistic timeline for his return. The fans deserve transparency, and Rey deserves to have his situation treated with the gravity it warrants. Second, there need to be legitimate consequences for Finn Bálor's actions. Whether that's a suspension, a fine, mandatory additional training on safe working practices, all of the above, something needs to happen that sends a clear message that this behavior is unacceptable. Third, and this is crucial, WWE needs to implement better oversight during matches to ensure that when things start going off the rails, officials have the authority and training to stop the match and protect the performers. As for Oba Femi and the Royal Rumble, this needs to be more than just a one-night appearance. If WWE is serious about building him as a main roster star, then the Rumble needs to be the beginning of a carefully planned trajectory that showcases his strengths, hides his weaknesses, and gradually builds him into a legitimate main event threat. That means quality opponents, meaningful feuds, and most importantly, protection from the kind of stop-start booking that's derailed so many promising careers. He's too talented, too special, to be wasted on the whims of last-minute creative changes or sudden shifts in direction. The wrestling business is built on trust between performers, trust between the company and its talent, trust between the product and its audience. What happened on Raw shattered that trust in multiple ways, and rebuilding it will take more than just time. It will require genuine accountability, meaningful changes to backstage culture, and a commitment to prioritizing performer safety over momentary shock value. Until we see evidence of that commitment, every exciting announcement like Oba Femi's Royal Rumble confirmation will be tinged with the bitter taste of knowing that the same company that's giving opportunities to rising stars is also the company that allowed a legend to be injured through negligence and reckless behavior. The Royal Rumble itself is less than 2 weeks away, and under normal circumstances, this would be the most exciting time of the year for wrestling fans. The anticipation, the speculation about surprise entrants, the debates about who should win and what storylines should spin out of it, all of that should be front and center in our conversations. Instead, we're forced to discuss injury protocols, worker safety, and whether WWE has any semblance of a functional system for protecting its performers from each other. That's not where we should be as a fan base, and it's not where WWE should be as a company. Finn Bálor's snap, Rey Mysterio's injury, and Oba Femi's confirmation are all interconnected pieces of a larger puzzle that reveals some uncomfortable truths about modern WWE. They are willing to sacrifice long-term stability for short-term buzz. They are willing to put performers at risk if it creates memorable moments. They are willing to distract from controversy by dangling shiny new opportunities in front of us. And until we as fans demand better, until we hold them accountable through our viewership, our ticket purchases, and our vocal criticism, nothing will fundamentally change. This situation demands our attention, our outrage, and our action. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know who cares about performer safety and accountability. Leave a comment letting WWE know that this kind of negligence is unacceptable. Make your voice heard because silence is complicity, and we cannot be complicit in a system that treats performers like Rey Mysterio as expendable commodities. The wrestling business deserves better, the performers deserve better, and we as fans deserve better than what we witnessed on Monday Night Raw.